Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday. 2 days ago I told you guys I would bring you a video about tabletop RPG gaming, and you know what? I didn't do it yesterday, but today I am actually bringing it to you. There was someone in the comments that said, I bet it'll take him 2 weeks to do that video. Ha! That guy actually took me 1 extra day. But today I do want to talk about tabletop RPG gaming. In particular, I'm going to be talking about one specific thing. D&D 5th edition versus Pathfinder. And this has been relevant to me because we are looking to get into one of the two. And I actually brought you guys this question about 2 weeks ago on the vlog, and I have made a decision since then. And it took research of my own and then also looking at all of the comments and really taking into consideration what you guys had to say before I made a decision. But before I do that, I want to kind of do a quick recap of what my experiences and my friends' experiences are with tabletop RPG gaming and why it is we're trying to make this decision in the first place. So, we have limited to no experience doing tabletop RPG games. Back in July, we did a road trip and we flew over to LA and then drove all the way back to South Carolina. It was incredibly fun, and one of the places that we stopped on the way back home was Jacksonville, Florida, and we spent a few days with my good buddy Dan. While we were there, we stopped at the game store and on impulse bought a board game / card game that I vaguely remembered and took a few minutes to look up online, read some good reviews about it, and was like, okay, let's get this. That was the Pathfinder adventure card game. I had heard the name Pathfinder, and I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but I thought I had read something somewhere where the Pathfinder adventure card game was good, so we picked it up. Well, we played a little bit of it, and it turns out we really liked it. It reminded us a little bit of Munchkin, except more fleshed out, and instead of being a competitive game, it was cooperative, and it was also a very long-term game. And after playing a few times for fun, we actually started a group, and we get together every single month and play this game. And it looks like it's going to end up taking us about 6 or 7 months total to finish this entire thing. It has been a lot of fun, but we don't need a DM or a GM, whichever you want to call it. We don't need someone to actually run the game. There is a fairly strict set of rules, and the game more or less controls itself. We are playing the game. We're leveling up, and our characters are getting stronger. We're having a really fun time. But it's going to come to an end in about 2 months from now, and we want to actually pursue real tabletop gaming. Now, back in September, we had the opportunity to play Pathfinder for real. We actually played a little bit of the actual RPG whenever we were at PAX Prime. We decided on a whim, really, that we wanted to try the real game because we had so enjoyed playing the card game. And we were very fortunate whenever we went, because when we approached the table to sign up, the person behind the table, who we would later meet as Andy, actually knew who we were. He was a fan of the videos, which was awesome because he became our GM, and he did an awesome job and was very patient with us and taught us a lot about Pathfinder, but it can be applied to, I guess, tabletop RPGs in general. So we learned a lot, and we had so much freaking fun. So at that point, we knew for sure that we wanted to do this. We knew for sure that when we finished doing the Pathfinder adventure card game, that we wanted to play a tabletop RPG. Also at that point, Andy gave us a copy of the core rulebook. So we actually got the Pathfinder core rulebook, and it's actually on the shelf behind me, which is really cool. So now that we are getting close to finishing up the card game, it is time to jump into one of the two. Either D&D 5th edition or Pathfinder. And the reason D&D 5th edition even came up is because I knew that it was kind of like the other choice. And whenever I had read about D&D in the past, it had been about 4th edition. I don't know very much about the history, so this is coming from someone who has just read a little bit here and there. But it seems like D&D was traveling on its merry way. It got to 3.5. And after 3.5, they went to 4, and 4 was so radically different that people wanted to stick with 3.5, and Paizo ended up creating Pathfinder, which is based off of 3.5 rules, and then you have kind of a split, where the people that really like the 3.5 rules stick with Pathfinder, and then D&D kind of went on its merry way. And now, even though people didn't super care for 4th, 5th edition is actually well received. People really liked 5th, so when I started reading more into 5th edition, I was like, wait, people actually like this one. Because when I had read about 4th edition, everyone was like, it sucks, stay away from it. So then I kind of had a problem. My problem was that I couldn't decide if I wanted to play, or wanted our group to jump into 5th edition, or go into Pathfinder. We were already familiar with the Pathfinder characters and the Pathfinder lore because we'd been playing the card game. We're not following the lore in the card game all that well, but we're following it a little bit. But from what I had read, D&D 5th edition was easier to play. And it was a little more newbie friendly. And whenever I read your comments that from the other video where I asked you guys this question, the majority of you seem to also be speaking in that manner, saying that you know, both games are great, but from a new person's perspective, D&D 5th edition may be a little easier to understand. So, you know, that was something I'd already read myself, so it was kind of confirming my suspicions. But we do already have the core rulebook. We do already have this familiarity with Pathfinder. So it's a very hard decision to try and figure out, like, which one do we want to play, because either one would work. I'm sure we would have fun with either one, but we had to decide. So I spent a lot of time racking my brain about this, and I actually spent a lot of time stressing over it, to be honest. Like, I was really having a hard time deciding what I wanted to do, because I really felt like I was almost being shoehorned in. And once I started reading through your comments and really understanding the fact that the systems are similar, and we are not tied to one system at all. It's not like that. We're not tied to something. We can start on one and play on another, and that is okay. At that point, I felt like I could actually make a decision. And before I reveal my decision, let me praise you guys. And not just you guys, but just the entire tabletop RPG community, because you guys are awesome. Coming from the video game world, I'm all too familiar with the vile, toxic environment that is the console wars. I mean, you've got Xbox on one side and PlayStation on the other, screaming insults at each other all the time. Somewhere in the back is Wii U saying, hey guys, I exist, and everyone's like, hey, pipe down, shut up. And then at some point, PC Master Race rolls in with his pimp cane saying, get out of here, peasants. Like, that's the way it is, and that's the way it is online, and that's the way it is everywhere, and it's a really terrible environment with people slinging mud, usually for no good reason. So it's incredibly refreshing to look through these comments and have so many of you have played multiple systems. So many of you have played you know, D&D 2 and then 3.5 and Pathfinder and D&D 4, and some of you have played D&D 5, and you've all said, you know, we've played this and this and this, and some people had maybe only played one, but they didn't have negative views of the other. And I guess it was just because they're all so similar, but it's just such a better atmosphere. Holy crap. So I just wanted to praise you guys for that, because that's awesome. And I'm really glad that we're moving into that kind of atmosphere with that, because I'm a console neutralist. Like, we have all of the consoles, and we play games on PC. We have Macs. We play games on Macs. And it's very weird being a neutral party in that, because you can post something on the internet and, like, certain people are okay with it and certain people aren't. But it's just cool that the tabletop RPG community seems to be cool people. That being said, we went with D&D 5th edition. I ordered this the other day, and I have had a chance to read through it, and it is something that I understand. It's something that I'm excited about, and it is something that I feel that I will be able to do a good job, having not done DMing at all before, and having very little understanding of what it entails, because my understanding of it thus far has been, you know, playing at PAX with Andy, and then also doing some, like, watching some videos of different D&D and Pathfinder events and things like that. So my understanding is small, but the information in the starter set helped a lot, and I feel like I understand it very well, and I feel like our players will understand it very well, because you have to understand, me coming here as a brand new DM, everyone is going to be a brand new player. No one has done anything like this before. I really do truly feel like 5th edition is going to be the easiest place for us to start. And as I said before, what really helped my decision be easier is the fact that I'm not tied to this. We can play through the starter set, and if we want to, you know, play a full campaign, I think Horde of the Dragon Queen or Spider Queen or something like that is the next thing. We could play through that, but then we could very easily say, you know what, let's look at these Pathfinder rules and let's play a Pathfinder module or campaign or whatever it is. So we can do that kind of stuff, which would be cool because I've heard that the Rise of the Rune Lords adventure, campaign, story, whatever you call it, is apparently extremely good for Pathfinder. So that's something that we'd like to do in the future. So this is just really nifty. And it was, you know, my decision to do this, but also my ease largely came from you guys. So I just want to congratulate everyone for not only helping me decide, but also for, you know, putting me at ease, because it's just cool that you know, the systems are similar enough where we can start with this, because this is going to be a little easier for all of us to understand. But then if we want to, we can easily go to Pathfinder. So that is our decision. And now you know. Once again, thank you guys for suggesting everything, talking about it. I appreciate it. If you have any other suggestions that you'd like to put in here, go for it. We are probably not going to actually start playing this adventure. It's Lost Mine of Phandelver, I think. We're probably not going to be playing that until March, maybe April, if things go poorly in the card game. So it's going to be a while, but we are really excited to start, and I'm pumped about it. I think it's going to be a load of fun. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, sticking with me through this lengthy video, and offer up any suggestions or tips or any other information you want to related to tabletop gaming or DMing or D&D or Pathfinder or whatever you guys want to talk about. That's fine. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? Oh, one other thing, because you guys probably mentioned or have noticed by now, I did get a haircut. So that does mean that we should have a haircut haiku. Let's make it tabletop RPG themed, shall we?
Here come the scissors. Hair makes a saving throw, and a natural one.
And now that that's over with, I did want to mention one quick thing, and that is that this will be the last vlog you guys have for a few days, because we're going to be out of town. So you won't get another vlog until probably Monday, maybe Tuesday at the very latest. The vlogs will catch back up soon, but you're not going to get any for a few days. Okay, now I'm done. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? It's really neat that not only are they doing something with the amiibos with upcoming titles, they're actually going back and patching in additional content. That is cool.
Are you sucking or blowing?
I'm sucking.
Okay. I don't know. It doesn't seem... I don't know why...
Here, you suck it towards you.
My sucking is questionable.